Welcome to Dan Perkins' podcast called What's on My Mind. Dan is a national syndicated radio and TV talk show host, a current events commentator who writes for 20 news blogs. So let's look into Dan's mind and see what he's thinking about today. Here's Dan Perkins.
What is Joe Biden not telling us about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and perhaps others? That's what's on my mind, and I'm Dan Perkins. Let me start by asking a question. What percent is 6 of 6.5 million? Yes, it's a question that's important because it will help you establish a degree of magnitude. Put down your calculators, for the answer is decimal point plus 8 zeros percent, almost indistinguishable. Now let's take the information and move to the next step. If you're running a business and had a company that produces products and had a failure rate with the percentage of what we just figured out, would you shut down your business until you could lower the rate? No, because there may be no way to lower it. I took you through the exercise because I need you to understand why I'm concerned about what's reporting on COVID-19, and I believe we're not getting all the information on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and perhaps others. Recently, the FDA and the CDC suspended the use of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine based on reports that 6 people developed blood clots. The federal government is telling us that based on these 6 complaints, or so they say, they shut down the entire Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine business until they can figure out how big the problem really is, or in other words, do we have a safety issue? Let me share with you the puzzlement. On February the 14th, 2021, Pfizer and Moderna both reported 36 cases of blood clots, and the FDA didn't shut them down. Why? I think it's essential to look at the percentage of people who have survived cases of COVID-19. If you're between 0 and 19 years of age, 99.99, 20 to 49, 99.98, 50 to age 69, 99.5, 70 plus, 94.6%. What is the significant about these numbers? Between the ages of 0 and 69, you have less than 0.5% chance of dying from COVID-19. Once your age crosses 69, your chances of survival are 9.5 out of 10. Let me say that again, 9.5 out of 10. And as of this writing, 13% of the population has been fully vaccinated. My question, along with others, is, have we overstated the impact of the virus? Look at all the age brackets and you will see that before the vaccine shot, you had an excellent chance of surviving COVID-19 if you got it. As of the date of this commentary, 0.00171% of the population of America have died from COVID-19. The measurement standard internationally for tracking the COVID-19 mortality is the number of people who die out of 100,000 people in that country. In America, the death rate per 100,000 people is 170 people. If you agree with me, you have to wonder, as I do, that it doesn't make sense for the government to shut down the product on 6 Johnson & Johnson claims and ignore the claims of 36 people from Pfizer and Moderna 2 months before. More importantly, since the shutdown was based on 6 people with blood clots, I wonder what Joe Biden knows and why he hasn't told us more about the risks of the vaccine. The FDA Oversight Committee met recently and decided that they didn't have enough information on the problem of the J&J vaccine. The day before they were to release their findings, a woman died in Portland of blood clots from that vaccine. On Friday, April 23rd, the Commission reinstated J&J. Friday, April 23rd, the Commission reinstated the J&J vaccine with new label warnings. I believe that President Biden knew about the problems and has yet to say anything to the American people. He had to have some consultation with the head of the CDC and the FDA before they ordered the suspension. I believe that there is a great deal more that we have not been told. There are 2 underlying questions millions, if not billions of people all over the world are asking. Are the vaccines safe and effective? The Korean Disease Control and Prevention Agency reported the results of an online survey of 965 recovered COVID-19 patients. 879 people, or 91.1%, responded they were suffering at least one side effect from the disease. Fatigue was the most common side effect at 26.2%, followed by concentration, which was 24.6%. Other after effects included psychological or mental side effects and loss of taste or smell. After one dose of Moderna's shot, 57% of younger people than 65 developed side effects, compared to 48% for those older than 65. After the second dose, nearly 82% of people in the younger group developed side effects, while 72% of the older adults developed the side effects. What does that say about the risk in giving shots to school-aged children? It would appear that based on the Korean research, the younger you are, the greater the chance of side effects, and perhaps serious side effects. One still unanswered question is, how long will the vaccine be effective? We found out the answer to that question, not from the President of the United States, but rather from the Pfizer CEO, Albert Bourla, who said that people will likely need to get a third dose of the Pfizer vaccine in the next 12 months for a booster protection against the virus. And then from there on would be an annual revaccination. That leads me to another question. How many shots will we need? According to NPR, the PBS NewsHour, and Marist recent poll indicated that the study, which surveyed 1,227 U.S. adults from March 3rd to March 8th, found that approximately 30% of Americans overall said they do not plan on getting vaccinated. Dr. Fauci wants up to 90% of the population to get vaccinated in order to get herd immunity. Here again, I have a problem with numbers. If only 70% are willing to consider taking the shots, not necessarily getting them, it may be impossible to ever get to Dr. Fauci's target. One last thing on my mind. Somebody needs to ask the question, what might happen to our immune system with all of these shots? If we overload our bodies with vaccines, could we see more and more severe side effects? If more information comes out about the other problems with vaccines in the marketplace, the greater the number of people will come back to America's fundamental question. Are the vaccines safe and effective? I'm concerned, and perhaps you should be too. That's what's on my mind. I'm Dan Perkins.